Welcome back to your favorite podcast, A Couple Pines Pod.
Welcome. Thanks for joining. How you
So
doing?
we just pieced together because we're stacking episodes that we didn't wish you a happy Thanksgiving last week. So happy
Sorry.
Thanksgiving. And
Happy
also
Thanksgiving.
happy December, fam. Welcome to the fastest year of our fucking lives. We should do an episode about that.
Oh, this year's just blown by.
We could make some theories on that, but that's not what we're talking about today.
Nope.
So last time it took us 5 minutes to get to the theory. Right now we're 45 seconds in, and I'm just going to start going because I'm amped up on this shit.
Put it on them. Put it on 'em.
So in between stacks, we couldn't figure out what we wanted to talk about. Olivia and Kollin had a very long conversation about some things that definitely would get us banned from YouTube.
Yes.
Even though we wish we could cover them. We're frustrated, but that's a different episode
Different
for a
day.
different time. Let's say the first week of February when we drop an episode and don't have YouTube trying to cancel us. We'll reinitiate the strike process and go from there.
Yeah.
So anyway, now that we're all caught up, let's get into the theory.
Ooh.
I found a subreddit called R Theories, and most of it's bullshit, but this one piqued both of our interests. So, what if every time we sleep and we're dreaming about ourselves, we're actually going to an alternate universe and we're living as the alternate version of us? So, by sleeping and going into the dream phase or the dream state, like the REM state, we get to universe hop. And maybe if we're awake, an alternate version of us is asleep and dreaming. Henceforth, I added henceforth, it doesn't say that. Living in this moment. And then we'll just dive into the top comment because that's what got both of us so hooked on this. To add to this theory, what if instead of just venturing into an alternate timeline, you create one? Just think of the phrase, you only use 10% of your brain. That may be true. But what if you use the other 90% while unconscious? The human brain is proven capable of many extraordinary things. So it is possible that by sleeping, your mind can literally create an enclosed alternate life. We all have so many mysteries hiding in that 90% of our brains that they very well could be capable of things like that, manipulating and duplicating cells, creativity sparks, and universal adventures. Some say the universe is massive and that it hasn't stopped growing. That may be true. When people die, shouts out last episode, that could possibly open the alternate timelines they created. And those timelines will become an existing place in the wonders of the universe.
Oh my God.
And so to add to that, because now we in this.
We in this bitch.
I love this theory. This might be my new favorite subreddit. And I'm going to channel my inner Colin here and just dive off the fucking high dive right into a tiny little pool. No, that's a dumb way to start it. If true, this is huge. I wasn't going to say that. But I was going to say if this is true. That's why theories are so fun. I want to believe in this because like we've spoken about dreams we've had here and the weird shit that happens, and off air obviously we have also had conversations about just like wild dreams.
Oh yeah.
And I tell you the weird shit that goes on in my mind.
It's the best.
But like it's really intriguing to think that that actually might be an existing version of myself. And that's almost comforting in a way where like you have a really weird, fucked up dream. if
Hmm.
that's actually just some version of you. I don't know why that's comforting, but like you have a dream, you're just like falling. Like
Okay.
that could be, you 2 galaxies away getting ejected out of your fucking spaceship. I sound like an idiot right now, but
Well,
it's so
now,
it's so intriguing to think that like if you have a dream, it's you channeling like this weird Neuralink you in a different place.
that's okay.
It's like twin telepathy, but light years away, which is cool as fuck.
Do you remember? I don't know if it was 2 weeks ago or if we cut it out or whatever, but when I talked about the dream I had of fighting someone else,
Oh, I did cut that out. Sorry about that. But yes, I
no.
remember that.
So I remembered that dream earlier today,
Oh,
and it
okay.
is weird you talk about this because I boiled it down and I meditated on it and I really thought about it. The person I was fighting in that dream, the reason I knew them so well, the reason I knew what they were doing, and the reason I recognized them so much is because it was me.
Okay.
I
That's
remember
that adds so much to this theory. Keep going.
I remember back to my dream, the person I was fighting, they knew every single thing I was going to do until I pulled something that I literally thought of in my own conscious mind as I was dreaming.
Wait,
Until
what?
so I'm fighting this dream apparition. During the fight, I pulled a knee. Now the reason I pulled this knee is because they dove in to tackle me. Now, when I wrestle with my friends, when we get super drunk back home, the first move I go to is a wrestle takedown.
Okay. Sorry we don't wrestle. I feel like we should
No.
wrestle more.
So that dream apparition of me goes to tackle me and wrestle me down, and I throw a knee. Now, the reason I threw a knee is because as I was having this altercation, the me who was in my bed in my apartment had a literal split-second decision of whether or not to soak the tackle or throw the knee. And when I threw the knee, the the thing or the person or me that was having the altercation in the dream looked up and smiled at me the only way I smile when I have a sarcastic, "You just hurt me, but I don't wanna show it" smile.
Wow.
And that's how I made the mental connection that I wasn't fighting some random fucking person. I
You
was
were,
fighting me.
yeah. Oh my God. But if that version of you actually does exist somewhere, that's like some fucking Black
Right?
Mirror, dark ass psychological shit.
Like, am I fighting an inner demon that's trying to take over my personality?
Well,
Or
that's
am
what
I
I
f
was thinking.
right? Like,
Not
am I
not not trying to take over your personality, but like that's like some
that was a cackle.
what? Oh, okay. Okay, I was like, what are you looking at? But that could be like psychologically fighting an inner demon.
Right?
But that's in our reality. And if we're sticking
Mhm.
to the theory that we're talking about, this version of you in your dreams, maybe in his reality, he's actually at war.
Oh.
Because at the dream you're referring to, which I'm sorry I cut it out. It was just a very long
No, that
story
was a long story the
that
first time
didn't
I told it.
it also didn't really
Tie to anything
truly
we were
relate
talking
to the
about.
episode, but now it does. If you dreamed you were fighting this insane medieval or whatever you said gladiator battle and you couldn't, oh dude, that's fucking weird.
Isn't it weird?
But maybe in this dude's version of the dream, and now this could be his dream and he's like, this fucking sucks because he's just some certified killer version of you. Both you wake up
Bro,
angry and you're like, why am I fighting me? That
imagine
made no sense. I'll probably cut everything I just said out, but like, that's fucking so interesting once you read
what
this
if,
random
what
theory.
if there's the version of me here that is a golden retriever in a human's body
Ooh,
who
okay.
loves and puts out just everlasting energy and positivity to the universe. And then there's another universal version of me that is the exact opposite of
Little
everything I am.
little Rottweiler.
Exactly. And that version of me found the version of me that I'm perceived of living in right now. And there was an altercation to see whether that me is the true me or the version of me that I know is the true me. Because what if there's multiple universes like Marvel talks about the splitting timelines where there's the variant of you that does shit that's not it's not supposed to, and then
Yeah.
there's the version of you that is true and right and continues on the path.
Yeah.
What if
I
the
think you're the
universe
true right one.
exactly what if the universe was testing me to see if that version of me was more powerful than the true accurate path that I'm on? And if I somehow lost or got trapped in what that version of whoever it was, maybe me or some,
Oh my God.
and if I lost to that thing, I would have woken up in whatever given timeline or universe that thing was in.
I don't even think you would switch it to like you just wake up and you're like totally different outlook on life.
Oh, what if that was it?
Like it takes you over. But obviously you
Oh,
won the war because you're the same fucking guy. But
yeah, like that multiple, like that split personality disorder, but this one was fighting for
kinda.
the light in a dream.
Maybe that's no, that's a psychological disorder.
Yeah, no,
Just
this,
because like they're not asleep when it happens. I'm
yeah.
strictly talking when you have absurd dreams, you're experiencing a different version of you. Just to catch, I feel like at this point
Wow.
I'm talking to whoever's listening because like we've covered some weird terrain here, and I feel like I just have to recenter us. I
Do it.
100% agree. But like if that version of you that you were in the dream one or no, because you were yourself in the dream and you were fighting a different version of you.
Yeah.
But if you were same situation, but that version of you won, what if you, this version of you, woke up just like pissed or like really upset or like maybe that's why dreams affect you so much
Oh,
because
wow.
you're related to this other you and the hardships they go through. Like I said, telepathy type thing. But in your specific case, you're at war with yourself. And if you want to talk, I'm here for you, buddy. But if the
Wow.
bad version of you won, maybe that's when you wake up like, yo, fuck today.
Wow.
Cause like when I have a really fucked up dream, like I have a lot of falling dreams. Everyone has the dreams, like you're just free falling and then you like jolt up in bed.
Yep.
Like when I have those, I wake up really upset or like when I have a dream of just like traumatic events that have happened or like people who cause traumatic events being in my dreams, I wake up pretty upset. And so it's like, what if that
Hmm.
version of me is still going through it? And they're like, dude, help. Because no dreams make sense to me, but they could make sense to other versions of us. The version of you that was fighting you, that makes sense to him somewhere.
Right? What? Okay. So you have
You
a
look
dream.
so excited. I love it.
You have a dream. Dude, I'm thinking so hard right now. You have a dream. When you wake up, you can't understand that dream. But
Yeah.
a few days later, after you've marinated on it, after you've understood it, you now grasp everything that happened.
Yeah. But
What
also
if,
after multiple days. So let's say it takes 3 days, you revisited that portal of thought 3 times.
yeah,
So you begin to reconcile with it.
yes.
Oh God, damn.
And now that you've reconciled with it and you've come to grips, whatever it is, may it be a different universe, may it be a different timeline, may it be a different version of you, you are now able, like the Rick and Morty episode, you are now able to be so certain and so precise that there is no need for another timeline or version of you, and you can coincide with everything you're doing in the universe.
Well,
So remember in the episode in Rick and
no,
Morty,
I know what you're talking about, but like what I was gonna say, just to keep us on track, let's not talk about Rick and Morty because we're on some shit here. I don't want to
well,
relate it to a cartoon.
but in my dream, if I didn't have the cohesive understanding where I beat the different version of me, what if it created another dot, another universe where now I'm slipping back and forth all the time because I don't have control?
But
I'm
like
not certain.
it very well could. Check back with me after you go to bed tonight. Like
Oh.
that's why it's crazy.
So
And
because I
like,
beat myself and I'm so certain, now that version of me is able to be controlled and understand and cohesively live with who I am on this timeline. And I'm no
yeah,
longer this dark evil variant.
then you're like the timekeeper of your version of yourself.
Here's another story that randomly happened today that had no meaning whatsoever, but it's
Okay.
about exactly what we're talking about.
Okay, cool. Yeah, go.
I walked out of Whole Foods with Bree.
Ooh, fancy.
And there's this man who I've never seen, didn't know, complete stranger. As we're walking by each other, I see him turn and stare at me like he's known me for centuries.
Ooh, that's weird. That's happened to me before.
He looks at me,
Yeah.
and the first words that come out of his mouth are "God bless you, brother."
Ooh, okay.
He I turn to him, I go, "Thank you so much. I appreciate that." And he goes, "No, God bless you, brother. Thank you so much."
Ooh, that's weird.
And Bree was watching him. As I walk away from him, because I go, "Thank you so much again. Have an amazing Thanksgiving."
It's the
And
most
I
Colin shit I've ever heard.
as I walk away towards Bree's car to get in, she tells me he stared at me for another 2 to 3 seconds, just looking at the back of me before he turned around and walked into the store with his kid.
Oh, that's weird.
So I had so much of a pull or a connection or some sort of being that this guy decided to stop talking to his kid, stop paying attention to his kid, and focus completely on me to tell me, "God bless you, brother. God bless you."
Okay, let me blow your fucking mind real quick.
Yes.
Shouts out last episode. what if that was like one of your deceased relatives who came back and is our, what if that was like your great grandpa and he's like, holy shit, I know that guy
Dude, and he just
in a
came
new
through
life.
and
Or
was
like
like,
if you have a deceased grandparent, like
ooh.
what if that was them and they're like, oh my God, that's fucking Colin.
So, yep, my brain
Just some
immediately,
subliminal shit. Cause
yep,
think about if like you saw someone that you just immediately knew, but you don't know why. What
yeah,
would you say? Some shit like that.
it'd have to be like that.
But now we're on last episode shit. Or it could be, if we're on this episode shit, you talking to yourself. Oh my God. Imagine if a dream version of you manifested itself on this plane. Whew.
And
We're
you
getting
were,
out there. I don't know if I should have eaten that chocolate before this. This is intense.
dude, if you have a strong premonition and you battle
That's
through
what
that
I'm saying.
premonition,
Something that's so real.
and now because you've conquered, because you've challenged whatever it was, um, I can't help but think about what you just said. What if I understood and came to grips so well with whatever I fought in my dream that it went somewhere else, and that older version, that dad, that guy who said, God bless you, brother, to me, somehow had either a relative or me attached to him that he couldn't help but do it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just acknowledge, like, oh my God, I know that. That's, yeah, exactly.
How? I'm sorry. I've been
Did I just break Colin?
you might have broken me because I've been jokingly, jokingly, when I wear my rope sandals and I have my hair down and I have my
Yeah,
mustache and my goatee, people have
I know the
said
look well.
you low key kind of look like a version of Jesus. You low key kind of look like a version of you low key kind of look like him.
Okay, I broke Colin.
Now, I'm
What if
not
I broke
equating
Colin?
myself. I am in no way, shape, or form equating myself to Jesus or God. But what if along my lineage, there's a version of me that was so connected and third eye open that I am the literal, I don't even know what you'd call it because you couldn't call it. Yeah, it'd be an ancestor, the literal ancestor of a connected higher power being that came back, that decided to reincarnate so we'd be able to keep spreading and raising the vibration of the earth, and I don't know it.
I mean,
Why else would
huge if true.
why else would multiple people equate me to the golden retriever in a human body? Because you're not the first person that's done it.
No, I'd absolutely believe it if that's why I said huge if true. I mean, if there's anyone to represent exactly what you just said, I think it's you. I mean, I know a lot of people. You're the closest person to that. But
Wow, imagine I'm on a loop until I finally am able to spread enough joy and peace and love
you already
that
do that.
but imagine I haven't done enough. Like my purpose is so
Oh,
high that I don't understand it and I will never understand it. And that's why I keep going through this loop. And that's why I keep interacting with past versions of me who had that evil resentment. And I just have to keep beating and fighting them down until I'm at that point where it's just,
I think you're getting there.
Like, what the shit?
Yeah. Oh, I love how excited you got over this. No, I mean, not even excited, but yeah, in your once again in your specific case, I'd be like, yeah, that's the guy. Like that makes
Oh,
sense.
it's just
You
so
you are a
random.
you are a wonderful human. Like that would I'd understand that philosophy behind it.
But that's just it. Am I still here because I haven't conquered my demons? Because, like last episode, what if the people who finally get to move on and go to the everlasting happiness are the ones that have come to grips with everything in their life that they've had downfalls on?
Last episode I said I didn't believe in the never-ending happiness. So,
But
and
that's,
you're
oh my
using that
God.
term interchangeable with heaven. For me, the happiness is continuing to exist so I can just experience.
So
I don't
you're
think
saying,
I don't think it's about good and bad. I think
ooh,
but that's last episode. This episode we're discussing if when I go to sleep and I have these insane dreams and I've never been at war, literal war with myself in a dream, but if this plane does actually exist where you embody another piece of yourself while you're asleep, that does sort of,
that adds
in
up.
the most insane way, make sense of dreams.
Yeah, because it's literally the veil between this universe and any other universe that's around you being lifted
Well,
because
not even around you. Think of all the insane dreams you've had.
yeah, because you're no longer conscious and you're no longer having that
Well, your physical self isn't.
yeah,
And
it's
this
it's
theory is saying your mind just kind of hops around while you're in this REM state that
that's
everyone's
so
like,
weird.
everyone, meaning, sleep experts and psychologists and shit, are like the REM state is like a lower
Wow,
division of your mind.
that's so
And
odd.
if the REM state is a lower division of your 10% of your brain, just like the top comment said, you're accessing that 90% when you're asleep, but we can't know that because we're
Hmm.
fucking asleep. And that 90%, if you've ever seen Lucy, shouts out that fucking movie because it's awesome.
Awesome,
Once you
so
unlock,
good.
I mean, obviously it's fiction, but let's apply the same idea here. If you're sleeping and you're unlocking some higher percentage of 10% of your brain, there is a slight possibility that you could jump between different versions of yourself in different
Yeah,
places in time and space. I mean,
yeah, yeah. Wow. Dude,
because also, like, if you're in the comments, sound off, argue against it. Give me your fucking email. We'll have you on the next episode.
we'll zoom you
And
in.
I'm not saying it's a flawless argument, but like,
It's yeah. But tell me,
argue against it. I mean, what? No. Like,
tell me
okay, no, then.
why. Tell me why in the world would I have a dream about a version or what I thought was someone I knew so well
Yeah.
that I recognized them through and through. Tell me why. Why would that happen?
Yeah.
Why would I fight a premonition that knew every single thing I was doing until I randomly pulled something out of my ass that I thought of in the version of the world we're in right now? Tell me why. If you can debunk it, if you can have some sort of theory, we're asking you please leave it in the comments section.
I'm sure if anyone watches this and does feel that way, there will be some other theory, but I like being on this side of it. It just
I do too.
makes it a little more fun.
It's awesome.
And it to me right now makes a little bit of sense. And by a little bit, I mean a lot.
See,
Also,
here's
you've infected me with your outrageously creative mind, and I enjoy it. So why the fuck not? If I have a crazy ass dream, that's a different version of me.
I just
Because
had
it
a
is.
thought.
How do you make that up? How do you make that up?
How? If it's possible to lift the veil while you're dreaming, imagine
What do you
one
mean lift
night,
the veil?
because you know how they talk about when you're awake, you can see and perceive everything that falls within the laws of physics that you live in.
Wait, what? When
Because
you're awake, you can see and perceive
yeah,
things?
so when
Yeah.
we're here, if we see something and we can explain it, we've seen it.
Okay.
But like last episode, if we're going ghost hunting, if we're doing something and we see a shadow figure or we see an orb, there's a few seconds where we try and debunk ourselves. We're like, no, we didn't fucking see that. That's
Like,
ridiculous.
that was a couple episodes, but yeah. I
So
I know what you mean.
now we're in a dream. Now you're dreaming, but you see a bird or a ball or a kite or something that initiates you to be like, oh, wait a minute. I'm in a dream state right now. I could possibly lucid dream. So
That's a whole nother thing.
now
Let
you start
lucid,
lucid dreaming.
but lucid would anchor you to hear. If
But
you're accessing the REM cycle, then that's when you're communicating with everyone else.
so
Lucid
you're in
dreaming is your immediate
Oh,
environment.
that's right. And you can go to wherever you live in. So you hit the REM cycle, and now you're so conscious and you've practiced so much and you've had enough time to where you're locked in. You're like, okay, I'm in my deepest form of sleep right now. I know everything that's going on around me is
Am I in the
definitely
back of the
some
whole episode and you didn't tell me? Just
I
casually on the
did
couch.
tell you and you didn't move.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
Sorry, Colin.
that's okay. Now you're in
I
this
I
state where
did
you're
tell you.
completely tranced. All of a sudden, in your REM cycle, as you're dancing through.
Just continue. I'm just gonna hold this up quick.
Oh, I love it. As you're dancing through a field of flowers or some sort of place, you see another version of a person that you know or a version of you, but you don't recognize it.
Can we bring Goose to see Santa?
Could.
He's
Yeah.
gonna hate every
Wait,
Good.
Colin's in like this crazy thought. I promise we will continue this conversation in a second. Colin, go.
Okay, hold on. Let me retrace. I forgot
We're
because I
also
was
we're also at 30 minutes. Just so
okay.
you know.
Okay, perfect.
Can I go get ready?
Yeah, go.
Person, dream.
If
Okay,
you
so
see
now
someone, if yeah, okay,
now
go.
you're in that
Sorry.
lucid dream. You're in that lucid dream and you're interacting with like I had with a person you think you know that you know to the core, but you can't tell where they're from. And it turns out that person is you.
Mm.
You had that REM lucid dream. You meet that other universal version of you. That universal version of you has been practicing REM sleep as well. Now you're able to interact with them like you and I are, like we're having this podcast.
Wait, I'm confused.
So you know how I fought that version of
Well,
me in
if
my dream?
yeah, but that's
What
REM
if
cycle. But if you were like physically or directly interacting lucidly with a version of yourself, then that version of yourself in the theory we're talking about would also be experienced in lucid dreaming. I think
exactly?
I got confused because you said REM and lucid a lot, and I'm sorry I got a little lost.
That's okay.
So
I
okay,
definitely confused the fuck out of everyone listening. But
but
now you're
So REM would be like the dreams we have where we're not fighting ourselves, where crazy shit happens and we're like, oh, this is insane. We must be dreaming. Lucid would be you at war with yourself. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, so I'm
Okay.
saying lucidly, instead of fighting myself, I am now in this situation where I see that other premonition of me. And instead of going to war, I get to talk to that version and we get to come to a cohesive understanding of if you want to be able to lift the veil and come into my world and see how I live, and I want to come into your world and see how you live, what if there's that understanding of when you get that experience that you're able to jump from universe to universe as you sleep?
That's the whole theory. What do you mean?
But
You
I'm
just brought
thinking,
the whole shit full circle. Or you mean transfer it from REM to
yes,
lucidity so you can actually what
yes.
physically go
So
from
now,
universe to universe?
yeah, so now I'm in this universe I'm in. If
I
I
mean,
decide to REM and transfer myself over to the version of me that I fought, but now have an understanding with, and we're best buds, and I can
oh, okay.
cohesively live and see what that version of me sees all the time, what if that is now a different step to having your own spiritual being becoming such a higher greater power that the more you like the more universes you connect yourself into, the higher spiritual being you become.
Okay. That's well, you were explaining that as like the
I
last
know I was
half
very
hour of our lives has made no sense, but that made it all make sense.
I know I
That's
definitely fucked
wild.
around until I got to the main point, but if you were here
No, I
and
do the
finally
same
heard what
thing.
I was saying, what if that's it?
That could be it. That's the whole theory. Where this episode isn't even like, oh, fucking crazy conspiracy. We literally went on our theories and chose a theoretical fucking theory, Thurman, Uma Thurman that
Uma Thurman.
no, I don't know why I just did that. We just like chose a random theory and talked about it. But that's why theories are so fun,
Yeah.
conspiracy or not. Like no one knows. That's the whole point.
Oh my
Obviously, now I'm just repeating myself. We're both high
god.
and double stacking. So we're a little,
Oh, that's so interesting.
it's a lot of fun.
Wow.
How deep
Dude,
are we? Oh, 40 minutes. Wow. Time is passing.
last thought from me. What if you
You
get
know,
to
you're still
your
on camera, right?
uh,
Okay. Well, last
what if
time you were like, you didn't tell me. Sorry, go.
you get to your 50s, 60s and you have another premonition of you meeting you, and it's the last version of you need to meet before you ascend to that higher being.
See, once again, as per last episode, I don't think you ascend. I think if you're good enough, you become something else. And then based off this episode, that something else could meet an alternate version of you.
Exactly, you become that quote unquote god being, and all of a sudden,
No, I don't believe in that though. Like me, this version of me right now. Let's split the
yeah,
two episodes. Me in the Nirvana t-shirt, the Burton hat, doing a podcast with you. This me, if I'm good enough, which I feel like I've done a lot of really good shit in my life, can become a new version that's completely different in terms of resurrection. Whether I'm a
ooh,
human or an animal, I don't know. But
oh,
let's say I'm reborn as a fucking woman named Sarah. I have no fucking idea. When I die, my soul comes back as something else. I don't come back as James. But for this
ooh,
episode, I am James. And when I have these ludicrous dreams, it's other versions of different Jameses within their realities. And since the brain is such a complex place, and assuming me and the rest of them who look like me have them,
Yeah.
using that other 90% can literally leap your consciousness from physical body to physical body to physical body. And then
Okay.
let's say this James dies and becomes Sarah. That physical body is left out of the rest of the James's dreams, given they're still around.
But
So now we've tied like 2
what
episodes
if
together. But
okay, so what if all
that's my take on all of this. I am me, but in my dreams, I could be a million versions of me. As per last episode, when me dies, I hope to become something else.
what if there's a select 50 to 100 versions of you that over your lifespan cohesively create this unity. Now, you are, of course, yourself, but now there's 50 to 100 versions of you cohesively living in unity.
What, like a community of different me's on the same
Yes, so now there's a
on the same
community
plane though. They're
on
in
the
the
same
same,
plane.
they're
So
just all
you
together. It's like the
exactly, you
fucking
have all joined together to have the power, the will, the perspective of 100 James all into one. Because you decided with that 100 James to cohesively live together and and coincide, that now there is a deity version of you who
going
gets
on?
to travel through dreams in order to give other universal versions of you a perspective in order to lead a path to join the 100 versions of you who have become a god so that you can become more powerful.
Then fucking hit me up, bro. I don't know. What do you mean? I'm not that.
But dude, what if
They don't
that's
want they don't want the
possible?
fucking beer drinking podcast and stoner ass version of this,
What
James.
if
What the
that's
fuck?
possible?
It
What
could
if
be possible. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that ain't this version, bro. Hop over, go have a dream or some shit and talk to that version.
dude, what if that version of me fought me to be like, can he join? Can he not
That's what I'm
join?
saying. And then you were like, nah, you're a bitch. And now this version of you, hi, you, is like,
The all powerful me
yeah, I don't know.
because I fought and beat the other version of me that was owning the other versions of me.
Who knows, man?
Oh my God.
I think the best takeaway from this episode is brought to you by marijuana.
This episode is brought to you by Mary Jane.
Mary Jane, expand your
Have some fun.
mental abilities.
Enjoy the life you live.
No, but we're getting deep
I
in
was
the
gonna
time.
say,
So,
I think we're good.
oh yeah, same.
Yeah, baby.
Hey, I love you so much.
I love you too, pal.
This version of you though, fuck all the other. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I don't know.
no, the other
I
versions of
haven't met him
me,
yet.
unless you're willing to coincide with the version of me that talks to my best friend James right now on our podcast, then why don't you suck and fuck off?
Wow.
That's
That
how
being
much
said,
control I have.
I hope you sleep well with yourself.
Oh, I'm ready to fight myself.
Oh my god. Next episode's gonna be electric.
Oh, this has been,
A couple pints pod.
it's safe to say,
I'm gonna see you in person next time, and you are the fucking goat.
I love you, buddy.
God.